Alrighty. Let's get this going. Sorry, I literally forgot about you. Okay, so we're going into this game, playing a Moo. We need to analyze what our team composition does better than their enemy team composition. That seems to be spacing and damaging. You have a higher ranged advantage as well, though not greatly. Let's see. You probably have an over-aggressive bot lane, so counter-ganking Fiddlesticks is a pretty great concept you can do here, so I'd definitely try to get a ward on his red here, if I could. Take Vex with me, and go try to get some vision on the enemy jungle, try to understand what his pathing looks like, so you can really intercept the enemy Fiddlesticks. I think that's one of the more important things you can try to do, is just to ascertain vision of the enemy players, and so that you can track them more efficiently, of course. Especially in solo queue, if you can just bring somebody with you, worst case scenario, like, you just don't go into the bush. And, like, you can also just ward his raptor camp, and I'll give you just as much information. If you don't want to ward the red buff because you're afraid of, like, an Urgot flip or something. Pathing to top lane here, or you're going to go raptor spot lane. Those are your, like, two options for a raptor start. I like raptor start and move, pretty clear, good clear, pretty fast. You have a pretty strong clear, just in regards to a cross with Fiddlesticks. Like, you're relatively the same pace of clear. I feel like all you're doing is clearing. If you're wasting any time, Fiddlesticks has an advantage, but that's what Fiddlesticks is going to innately do. It's might, you could have just like walked away though. That's something I've seen you can be doing better, is like dragging the camp to where you want it to go. I'll save you precious seconds. Like, you'd be like 2 seconds faster on this camp, and then 3 seconds faster on the clear, and overall your clear would catch up by about 5 seconds. So we're going do our whole bot quadrant and then up. I would just do red buff if I can. I know Jinx wasn't there to leash, but I think I'd still just do red buff, because you were wasting time by, like, walking all the way over. And it is, again, just it's a minor time loss, like 2 or 3 seconds, but it is a time loss. So, because if you start red and you're getting Brand to hit your red buff with you, it's essentially the same thing as you doing your Raptors, right? Because at least Brand is hitting your buff with you. And you're going to smite the red anyway, right? And you're going to go do Krugs. And you're going to go do your Raptors. So. Now, the cool thing about this is that you do get your Raptors on a lower cooldown, which is nifty. I do like that. So if that's the strategy, then that's really cool. If you're doing this Gromp, queuing the Gromp is a little, like, greedy. Like, the extra 80 Sarah damage isn't necessary. You have 2 charges of your Q coming with this Scuttlecraft. So now you only have the 1. And now you are in a interesting position. Okay. Sione is a maniac? Okay, hold on. Alright, yeah, cool. Sure. Yeah, I like your method here of just taking Scuttle and then going to go take another Scuttle Crab. You're using your slightly faster clear speed to get an advantage over the opponent. I would have been pinging top lane and letting him know that that's, like, the only angle Fiddlesticks has right now. You just saw Fiddlesticks up there, right? But now that you see Fiddlesticks up there, you can 2 options. You can take his Gromp, you can sit in this bush and gank bot lane and wait for something to happen, or you can go take your own Raptor camp. Or I suppose you could reset. You can also go Krugs Raptor Wolves again. Sure. You're gonna wait, like, what, 5 seconds? 3 or 4? It's fine. I would have just done Raptor Krugs and then probably reset. because it puts my Raptor on a timer again. Or you can get like Raptor Korog, sit in bot bush, produce a bot gank, or something like that, but I don't think what you did was wrong, per se. Because now you're just going for wolves into another full clear. Yeah, that's fine. The reason why I wanted to go to bot lane is because I know my bot lane just received a wave, right? And so because they just received a wave, their laning is gonna like naturally push into the enemy because their wave crashed. And you saw Fiddlesticks top on a timer where he killed GP, so you know Fiddlesticks is gonna be bot, right? That's like the only place he could be next after clearing his top side. And so you're just preemptively there with the counter gank, and I think your 3v3 is absurdly good, and is something to like play for in this team comp. But playing for like a faster clear is like totally cool with me too. If you just like warn your bot lane that like, hey, Fiddlesticks is going to be down here and I'm just going to clear and accelerate past him, I think that's a fine play too. So you do have an excellent clear speed. Okay. Going into Demonic seems pretty standard here. Immediately going bot lane. This is a nice lick. When you took your reset, you saw the wave states. It's an easy way for Jinx to get a bait off, and Drake is like your priority objective at this moment. So I really liked that. Really good look here. Obviously, it pays off. Conquer, yeah, it's good. Nice. Leaving the way for Jinx. How kind of you. I don't know if you had info on Fiddlesticks. No info on Fiddlesticks. So going to take Dragon is greedy here. So good on you. Returning to your clear is pretty good. I would again. I mean, I think this is like just your only problem here is that you're not warning your teammates of where the enemy jungler could be, because that is your job, is to track the enemy jungler as much as it's anyone else's. But I think it's especially your job, especially in a solo queue environment. Because tracking the enemy jungler just stops what the enemy jungler is wanting to do more often. So. That being said, I'm a fan of the concept of how you're playing this game. That's just the rate of improvement I would hope to see. I can't tell because this is spectating the game as it's already happened, rather than, oh my god, let's go Vex. Cool. Nice, counter. That was a weird cue. You know he doesn't have flash. Still, good job. You're level 6, so you're like, oh, I can just do this. Very cool. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, because it's a spectator, I don't get to see what your screens per minute look like. But that's a very important statistic for junglers in general. I don't know why we're not doing our blue buff here. Wasted like a good amount of time. Okay, Aurora Wolves. There's one on the pink ward, I guess, but that was weird. I guess we thought we placed it and double back. Whatever. You and me. You. Yeah. Screens per minute is a general concept as a jungler, which is like when you're doing your stuff, you're looking at your wave states, so that you can understand what your next movement is supposed to look like. Because as a jungler, your decision making, especially in solo queue, should be completely based off of wave states. That should always be like where you're getting the most kind of information. If the lane is shoving into the opponent, then either A, that's a counter gank opportunity based on how much your second biggest drop, tracking the enemy jungler, is, you know the enemy jungler's on that side of the map, and the wave is pushing, then that's a good counter gank opportunity if you want to take it, or you can take the subverse opportunity and play strong side on the other side of the map. Take your and that usually looks like either having an accelerated clear when you're playing something that has an accelerated clear speed, or ganking the other side of the map. Ganking the other side of the map is a much better version of assisting your team in solo queues specifically, because it makes your team less toxic because you're affecting the map. But yeah, replying here is a-okay with me. If you had ult, I'm pretty sure you just like cue the Doom music and kill everybody, but it's just hilarious. It's a nice position here. Nice. I like this play a lot. Amumu is a very strong champion. With Demonic and Conquer. Very cool. I like that play a lot. I like the confidence to go for it. So here you've got two options. You can go repair top lane after these Krugs, or you can double down on bot lane. I would double down on bot lane and produce a lane gank bot lane here. After my Krugs, I would just go through lane and sit in a bush in lane and get ready to attack bot lane again. Because then Varus is just like out of the game. We also know Fiddlesticks should be top lane for this Herald anyway, right? So if you were like in the bot lane, like forward bush, like just imagine the concept of play that you could be doing here. You would be losing out on your topside clear speed, but it would be very pretty. I don't think Bram would have backed for an Oblivion, orb, but I guess they have a Yone and a Fiddlesticks, but still hurts my fucking soul watching a supporter go negative 800. I guarantee that Oblivion Orb's gonna do like negative 500 damage in the next 22 minutes. Like, it's gonna do 500 damage of healing damage. Got a nice little angle with Vex here, though. Could have been worse. But yeah, if you made the bot play, I think the enemy bot lane just is out of the game, and you've recovered another area of your map, which is really important because, like, yeah, you're 5-0-2 and you have a 3-0 mid laner, and that's really, really good. But you could have extended your lead into the bot lane into that position where you were sitting in the lane bush and really had a powerful play there. Where you entrapped the enemy. Because even if it is a 3-3, you went 3-3. So you're so strong. This is a very interesting gank timer to push for here. You're like helping it get crashed, and like you're just like keeping your bot lane safe. I get that, and that's cool. It's just weird because like better players, like better AD carries, are not gonna stand here when the wave is here. Right, they're just, if they're gonna stop like and attack the enemy team coming into this area, then they're gonna do it in like this position, especially because this is where their vision is, and this is where their vision is, and this is the only area where they can get ganked. So it's like a better AD carry player is never gonna be here. So this kind of angle of play is like interesting. Now I do like this angle of play because like the counter theory here is you would go through here and you would use your scanner into this bush and you would have caught this ward, but if the ward wasn't here, this is a very pretty angle for a play on the enemy bot lane. Even though melee ult does kind of fuck you. So trading flashes with the enemy AD carry here isn't actually super good because you are the vast majority of your team's gold, besides Vex. It's not like right? As long as you do something with it, it's fine. It's just, she's also a cleanse AD carry, which is a very low summoner spell. So your like effectiveness is reduced everywhere else on the map, and like there's no guarantee that you're going to create a play in the next 5 minutes onto this very specifically. Especially because you're going to be very worried about this Yomu's Ghostblade Urgot, like just obliterating you and Vex. So you're more likely going to be wanting to use your flash for that character. But I also think in the moment it's totally fine to go for. Because you're just like, okay, I'll just flash into Varus, and if you hit the Q, he just explodes. So I'm not gonna like, I'm not like, in terms of like improvement things, tracking enemy jungler and having the screen awareness for wave states is much more important. This is such a good, oh my god. Very right place, right time, but I'm happy you were looking for it. That was disgusting. Ugh. God, that felt good. Anyway, you have so much money now. It's kind of absurd. Protecting your shutdown is a thought process you need to like have now when you're like playing these fights. Which is funny. Let's see what else we buy here. There's all Darksteel action. Okay. I don't hate the Darksteel. You are a lot of your team's gold and being more efficient with the gold in terms of like damage percentages. A-okay with me. I wish we had it earlier. I hate these fiddlesticks targets on the mini map because it's making me like, I know he's on Gromp, but like it's annoying to look at. Just like walked up and ate that. Little maniac. Ooh, wow, this is a bold move. I don't like it, I'll be honest. I don't want to make a play elsewhere first. Like, we don't have ult up. If things go well here, I don't think it's because this was the right play. I think this is where you can, like, throw a lead. I mean, you have GP ult, which is kind of cool, but... Very aggressive play. I'm not a big fan of, like, aggression outright. Like, without it being, like, very measured. But, yeah, I mean, without Jinx and GP, inviting the 3v5 is, like... 3v4, excuse me. Is kind of fucking crazy. I mean, do you know they don't have Verisar? Yeah, you know they don't have Verisar, so that helps a lot. It makes their, like, effective, like, engage on you worse. Yeah. And the more I think about it, the less I hate it, but I still kind of... I don't know. I feel like there's a spot here where if Melio doesn't get stunned here, and Varus and Melio just wait for Yone to press R, and they just play it like front to back, in that position, you just kind of die and give 1,000 gold to the enemy team. Like if these two bot laners just like hesitate a little longer on moving up, or they choose like a different route to move up with, you know, something that's less obvious than like hugging the wall down here and like putting the ward over the wall like right there, maybe. But yeah, I think that's like the punish angle, which is why I don't like it, because if the bot lane just hesitates a little bit, Yone R here just cleans. So this is definitely a very interesting concept to go for there. I think that was probably, like, with better enemy players, a throw. But what I think you should do instead, given the context, we just killed Fiddlesticks, so we're trying to like do something and pressure the neutral objective. You don't have flash. R's up in 10. I think just pulling the dragon, maybe not pulling the dragon, but being on the right side of the dragon and preparing yourself to queue over the right side of the wall and take the fight and then dragon is how I would play that. Like when Melio walks up here, I would have walked up and queued Melio there instead of hitting the dragon. And that's the kind of concept I would have wanted to fight for. Because then, like, you're forcing them to come into you, and you pick which side of the fight you want to take the fight on. And that gives your Vex and Brand, like, a place to move to, because you're so powerful that you're hitting the enemy bot lane. I think that's how I would have played it. It's a very interesting, like, thing to look at, though. It's a very pretty thing to look at. I actually really like the shove and to just, like, dive. Yeah, wow. This is great. I love that look. That was a really nice form of aggression. You're like, I'm 9-0-2, I need to use this lead, let's go. I like that, that was pretty. A lot of junglers would not have that, like, system of aggression. Got a scanner this whole time from that bot rush all the way up. You passed 3 wards, which I think is hilarious. Taking this mid wave. Thankfully, we did not take the whole thing. I don't know what, like, your item, like, gold bubble is, but it's probably not worth taking even more gold from your opponent. Your fucking bot lane is giga trolling. I have no idea why they're all the way up there. GPR already. Damn. You're right, solves all the problems. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here in the mid game that is like a blatantly obvious thing that you should like focus on improving. I mean, this guy does like no damage to you. Okay, that guy does damage to you. Nice, good flash. Kill him, guys! Oh my god. Whew. Terrifying. Let's see. Is there... Yeah, I mean, we're flashing out of the RW. That's correct. I was just wondering if there was a different flash angle we could have taken. Is down better than aside? Message from my own thing. No. I guess aside's fine. Anyway, cool. Radiant Virtue, Emilio. Wow. I see a decision and a half. I mean, I'm sure it's like statistically speaking fine. It's just probably not excellent. So we're just doing our little clear here. We're putting Herald down to make the enemy team respond because we want to fight. The only person we have here is Jinx. We're like, fuck it, we're fighting it anyway. Oh my god, the fucking Herald killed Fiddlesticks. What the fuck? What the hell? Oh, you were just trying to do as a raptor camp and you just hit fiddlesticks? That's hilarious. God, look at this fucking... That's so funny. Anyway. God, if I'm fiddlesticks, I'm so mad. Placing the Herald here without your team being grouped up is interesting. Was it timing out? I mean, not immediately. You waited. Vex to come group. Before placing the Herald, so you would have had a Vexar at this timing guaranteed, but I mean, like, it's fine. You're doing it to, like, get vision in the quadrant you want, which I get. Exerting pressure, moving on the map. Sure. Drake, taking enemy quadrants. No pink ward. Still no pink ward. All this fucking money. No ability to put vision down on the map, I guess. Smile. Pink ward would be really nice to have on this pair. Not that it matters, but... Who needs pink wards when the enemy team's dead? Smile. Ooh, hold on, that was here. So we are walking down. Notably, we have no vision on our left flank. We have nobody behind us to assist us. We need Jinx, if not only so the enemy team has somebody else to be hitting. Uh-oh. Whew. I'm really got my fingers crossed that you're gonna get yourself killed by Jack Show at the end of the game. Which is what happens when you have a perfect game with Jack Show. It consumes you at the enemy. No, don't die. Okay, 50-50ing is really weird here. Like, really weird here. I mean, do you know it's not a 50-50? No, you're just doing it on spawn. Oh, Jinx just runs up in headset and you're like, oh, okay, I guess. I see. I mean, taking the fight's fine. Like, doing the Nashers so you have the fight is fine. It's just kind of silly. Oh no, am I not going to be able to see you die? Because it's going to go to the fucking end screen? No! Look, the animation's starting! No! Sad. Anyway, yeah, I think your two biggest points of improvement are, like, playing off of wave states and talking to your teammates in solo queue specifically about what you're, like, afraid of or what you're going to want to do in regards to their wave states. Like, if they're pushing, you need to be like, and you know, Fiddlesticks could be or should be on that side of the map, you need to be like, okay, this is like Fiddlesticks angle for you. And you should just like danger ping that whole distance. Well, it'll save you like half the time. Half the time your mid laner will listen and you might get tilted, but the other half of the time they will listen and it'll be fine. So I like, you know, understanding wave states is really important, but I think the most important thing is pinging and tracking when the enemy jungler is, and not being afraid to get, you know, your vision a little bit further up instead of like this pixel, because this pixel bush only tells you if the enemy jungler is like coming to do an invade on you. It doesn't do anything else. So like, meh. But other than that, I think you played this game very well. A few over-aggressions, but it makes sense when you're as ahead as you were. Wanting to, use your lead is fine. I'd rather you want to use your lead than sit there and do nothing. So overall, I think your movements are fine. Next video you send me, I promise to do on time. But also, I want you to have a video of your POV, so I get to see like what your screen's looking at and what you're looking at when you're doing your camps, because having at least like 10 screens per minute of different information is like the number you want to get to as a jungler, because like a new screen of information is like where your champion is like hitting romp, right? That's one screen. New like a top lane, that's a new screen of information, right? So in that minute of time, you should be looking at 9 other sources of information other than what's on your screen. Hence screens per minute. So I want to be able to see your POV. And in that POV game, I want to see champion select, and I want to hear you like talking about champion select and what you want to be picking, what your win condition is, and what the enemy team's win condition is. But other than that, good job, Jeremy.